Hello and welcome back. On the last episode we discussed, as best we can, the cause of death for Wolfgang Akira. We haven't really made much progress besides that, but in my opinion, we've kind of established everyone was in pairs except for Diana. So, again though, it entirely depends. The moment one person says, I was not with this person the entire time, everything changes. But, so Diana, unless someone says, hold on now, pretty much. I don't exactly know what Eva's going on about, but, I don't actually recall. But, whatever it is, she's completely serious.
Picture a map of the building complex in your head. The building with the dorms is on the left, the courtyard is in the middle, and the building with the tree is on the right.
Okay, building the domes left, courtyard in the middle,
now,
right?
Try and pin everyone's locations during Wolfgang's murder.
Okay. Sounds like everyone except 4 of them were in the middle or, everyone except 4 of them were in the left building.
Once you do that, the identity of the killer will definitely become clear.
Okay.
Is the killer someone whose position we can't place?
No, it's not about position.
It's about...
Wolfgang's killer can easily lie about their location during the murder.
Oh, okay.
The only thing distinguishing their testimony from everyone else's is that theirs can't be corroborated.
Diana's. Okay. In which case, our killer... Yes, that's right. The only one here who can't possibly be the killer is you. Where is she?
It has to be you!
Diana, it's you, isn't it?
Her? The makeup girl?
The makeup girl? Yes, the cosmetologist.
She's the only one here without an alibi.
Yeah?
Those of us who attended the tournament can obviously be ruled out. And as for those who didn't...
Out of the 8 people who didn't.
Desmond and Eloise were in the courtyard. Toshiko and Ingrid were in the same dorm room.
And Winona and Ulysses
What
were...
about Winona? She never mentioned an alibi.
She's with Ulysses.
Give me a break.
Winona and I were in the building with the tree all morning.
Yeah, so they claim.
In fact, yes, Desmond and Eloise should have witnessed us walking over there, as those two were in the courtyard at the time.
Okay, so they got there first.
That's true. In that case, Diana really is the only one without an alibi.
But, because we know Wolfgang was wounded, is she the only? Does she have a wound? Because if that is the case, we're gonna have to find out whose blood it is.
If she's the person who fled the boiler room, those footsteps we heard make a lot more sense. Heels make a pretty loud clop sound on hard floors, and the underground hallway's floor is pretty hard. Diana would obviously want to take them off.
True.
Also, heels aren't comfy to run in.
Can't say true to that. Well, I can, but then we'd have to ask out how I know.
Whoa! I didn't even think of it like that.
You were the one who brought up the socks.
You're totally right, though. Since Diana's the only one here with heels, she would have to take them off.
True, but again, weren't you two best friends?
Guys, what are you talking about? Me? A killer? Do you really think I could be a killer?
Could be as in the sense it's a possibility, or the sense that you are. So I definitely think it's a possibility.
The fact you weren't at the tournament is incriminating enough.
Not just that. Everyone but you has an alibi.
True.
But I do have an alibi.
Claiming to be the only one who saw you there.
Right, Ava?
Huh?
You woke up with me this morning, and you never saw me leave my dorm.
During the brief amount of time we were together, I never saw you leave. What you did after I left for the game tournament, however, is anyone's guess.
Valid.
Ava wanted to help me and Cass set up the tournament, so we told her to swing by early.
For that reason, I left Diana's dorm at 8:05 a.m. I know the
Okay.
exact time since her room has a clock.
Why does your room have a clock?
I probably entered the dining hall around 8:10 a.m.-ish.
It took you 5 minutes to walk down the hallway into the dining room.
So much for an alibi then.
Diana, don't tell me.
Holy smokes, it's all falling into place!
Are we sure there hasn't been some sort of misunderstanding?
I mean, it would help to go through things, right?
It's not possible. Diana can't be the killer. No! I refuse to believe it!
You're a 14-year-old. Why use this dramatic? Looks like some people here aren't willing to face the facts. That's not a problem. I'll make them face the facts. Whether they like it or not, soon enough, nobody will be able to deny Diana killed Wolfgang. Rolling pin, storage closet, blood spots.
If it was Diana inside that boiler room, could she be the one who left the blood trail? Because if so, that might be her blood on the knife too.
True.
Diana's blood?
So it is the blood spots.
Are you saying she wounded herself?
No.
Wounded herself?
Why would you wound herself?
I don't know. Why else would the killer's blood be on their own weapon?
Did we not already agree the killer was wielding a rolling pin?
We did?
Maybe they had both.
Why would they take both?
The rolling pin in one hand, and the knife in the other.
Dual wielding weapons? Holy, this killer's next level.
Okay. That person's point is clearly impossible. Should they realize, as if I found out that piece of evidence. What exactly would that be?
If it was Diana inside that boiler room, could she be the one who left the blood trail? Because if so, that might be her blood on the knife too.
Would it...
Diana's blood? Are you saying she wounded herself?
Would it be...
herself?
And their own weapon?
This? Nope.
I don't have it wrong!
Oh, you don't have it wrong?
There
You're
were
a child.
only 2 people in the boiler room, and we've already proven one person wasn't stabbed.
Okay. But why would you stab herself?
The blood was left by the other person. The blood was left by the killer.
Imagining contradictions where there are none.
If it was Diana inside that boiler room, could she be the one who left the blood trail? Because if so, that might be her blood on the knife too.
Diana's blood?
Okay. Wounded herself.
Why else would the killer's blood be on their
Is it
own
number
weapon?
2? No, it's number 1. Alright, blood room. Let's get outside the hallway. Knife. Alright, stealing roll pin on one end, small dent. Handprint. It was 2-wielded.
Did we
Okay.
not already agree?
Dual wielded. It was a 2-handed weapon. There we go.
No, that's wrong!
No. The killer was only wielding the rolling pin during their confrontation with Wolfgang.
Meaning, where did the knife come
You
from?
can tell just from looking at the pin. There are 2 handprints wrapped around the edge, as if the killer had been holding the pin like a tennis racket. Which makes sense, because you can swing with more force if you use both hands. And that's what a killer wants when trying to knock out a grown man.
I suppose.
Then, who held the knife?
The only other person in the boiler room.
It wasn't the killer. So it was most likely the only other person in the boiler room. Wolfgang Akire.
Oh, I said Akira. This is the last name with an A.
What the hell are you talking about? Wolfgang, carrying a dangerous weapon? Bullshit!
He's already lied to you, so why wouldn't
If
he?
you were in his situation, wouldn't you? Wolfgang received an anonymous message asking him to meet in a basement, all whilst in the middle of a killing game.
Yeah.
At that point, it doesn't matter how much of an optimist he is. He'd know better than to come unarmed.
True. Yeah, can't really blame him for
The
that.
knife isn't super hard to find either. Wolfgang probably just stole one from the kitchen.
When though? Well, I don't even know that matters, but when?
Besides, if Diana's the one who got stabbed, it would explain the blood trail. Think about it. She arms herself with the rolling pin and attacks Wolfgang, getting hurt by him in the process. For some reason, possibly because of the blackout, she doesn't clean the blood trail she's leaving, and returns to her dorm room after.
No! That's wrong!
Why, are you not wounded? You gotta prove it.
I wasn't stabbed. If I was stabbed, then I'd have an injury. But there's nothing, right? There's nothing on me.
Fair enough. I mean, it's gonna be an awkward situation, but it's best to check everybody, right? If we just, if all the boys check the boys, all the girls check the girls, whoever finds a wound that can't be explained, it doesn't have a witness to those injuries, would be the easiest way to find the killer.
Depends. If a vein got nipped, you'd be seeing blood no matter the size of the cut. Of course, that also means a small cut will need bandaging, which I'm not seeing on you.
Exactly. Well, even with makeup,
You may not see any injuries on Diana, but that doesn't mean they aren't there.
Huh?
If she wanted, she could simply hide her injuries from view.
With a bandage, though?
After all, someone like her has exactly what it takes.
Is it, what is her talent? Cosmetologist. Diana's talent.
I got it.
Fair enough.
Talent. As the ultimate cosmetologist, Diana could easily cover her wounds.
It makes sense. With the right equipment, she could probably disguise even a bandaged wound.
I suppose, but I mean, right? Like, if it's a life or death situation and she's innocent, the best thing she could do is just prove it by, like, as awkward as it is, it's just like showing as much skin as possible, I suppose. Because if there's no wound, I'd say send John in. Send John in. I trust him the most to maybe John and Ingrid, therefore it's balanced out. You know, maybe Ingrid was a better choice.
As Diana's bunking partner, I've seen firsthand how many different cosmetics are inside her room.
Okay.
So unfortunately, I have to agree.
Well, Diana, did I get anything wrong?
I mean, it's may as well now speak up, because if we are wrong, then
No. But
Wait.
okay. Interesting that you're speaking up.
Diana, did you just say no? As in, no, you're not wrong that I covered up my wounds? Oh crap. You guys know what this means, right, guys? Diana just...
Kai, I'm gonna need you to shut up. Whether you're right or wrong, you speaking is just not the best.
Diana
basically just confessed!
A confession? Are you for real?
I mean,
It makes sense, though, doesn't it?
he's just speeding up. He's making things worse.
Diana got wounded, which proves she got in a fight with Wolfgang. Which means all that stuff about Wolfgang going to the boiler room, all that stuff really did happen.
No, it didn't happen. He was just there because he thought I was going for a nice stroll. Shut up, Kai.
I see. I see now what you were saying.
If Kai doesn't shut up, the younger kids are gonna copy him. See? It's... Oh, my God.
Diana, she lured Wolfgang to the boiler room by writing him that note.
Whether she's guilty or not, we can't just assume, oh, this is true. If she's gonna confess, she's gonna confess. If she's not gonna confess, then she's gotta prove it.
And when he arrived, she attacked him and killed him. And now, she's been lying this entire trial, hoping we would never suspect her.
I mean, she's not really been participating in the trial.
How cruel!
Diana, you...
You?
It wasn't me! I promise. It wasn't me.
You're gonna have to prove it. We can't go by promises.
To think she could preach about friendship after committing a violent crime.
I mean, it would make sense.
And then try and sentence the rest of us to punishment.
Kai's just made this a worse.
Golly, you're right. If we voted for the wrong person, we would have been executed.
That's still a possibility. We're still in the middle of the trial. Don't speak past tense just yet.
That's so fucked!
You shut up.
Seriously, Diana? What the hell is your damage?
Can we at
Damon's
least hear
thinking
Diana's
something.
side of the story?
Her side?
Well, you know, Diana has,
That's true, right? If Eloise has a point. If Diana has just confessed, then we can hear her side of the story about it.
I just think it's fair we listen.
Honestly, yeah, I'm agreeing with Eloise.
What does it matter what she says? Look at the evidence. This case, it's closed. We know who the killer is.
Is it closed though? Because, well, if we used every bit of evidence we had. I've flipped the doorknob. I don't know. Have we talked about the extension cord? The odd smell. We haven't talked about the odd smell, actually, have we? All the shrapnel. Thin piece of metal. Is a hair bob? Yeah, it is. The hair bob. And the ballroom door. Dude, someone picked the lock? I don't know why I don't know why I'm suddenly defending the person I suspected the most.
If you really want to ask for Diana's side of the story, then do it after the vote.
That is if we are correct.
No. No, no!
Vote? That's right, we have to vote for the killer. Diana, I've proven beyond a reasonable doubt that she's the killer. I've proven it beyond a reasonable doubt, so...
No. No. No.
But is she the killer? Why is it when I hear her cry, I get a strange nagging feeling in my chest? Why does a tiny part of me want to believe that the things she's saying? Why all of a sudden do I doubt myself? So suddenly we're saying Diana's innocent. Okay, Damon. But it's not Damon, then how are we going to prove it's her? Because if we prove that it's not Diana, then the issue is that everyone who has an alibi, aka everyone else, literally, they don't have an alibi. So yeah, if we think alibis are going out the window, Grace's testimony good. Fetch quest, suspicious note.
Diana was the one who lured Wolfgang to the boiler room.
Oop, wrong button.
She got there, she killed him immediately.
Immediately?
Then she fled the crime scene, hoping the rest of us would never learn the truth.
How could you, Diana?
How
Poor
could
Wolfie
you?
was only trying to keep us together.
But I would never murder Wolfgang.
If you don't have an
I don't have an
alibi,
alibi.
then you obviously did.
Not necessarily. Because anyone can fake an alibi.
I wanted to
If
believe
you-
so badly that you were innocent.
What if she is?
Why didn't I see you for who you were?
If this goes on any longer, I'm gonna be sick.
What are we waiting for then? Let's get this over with and vote!
No. If I tell me the truth, how's it possible when I already know the truth? Can't believe it. Unless...
Diana was the one who lured Wolfgang to the boiler room. Once he got there, she killed him immediately.
What is Grace's
Then
testimony?
She fled the crime scene.
It was Grace's testimony encouraged Grace to attend Johan said.
Hoping the rest of us would never learn the truth.
Fetch quests.
How could you, Diana?
Hold on, fetch quest. Tozu was at 8 AM before the dorms. She encountered around 10 AM. So would she have ran into Eva? trying to think, because wouldn't that mean she's next to at least passing each other? Here's again while I'm here. Scene of the crime. Why does it say X29? Is it like the number of times you can pull the trigger? Because that's on tape, so you'd have to remember that. There's also the blast doors. What else is there? I don't actually know.
Poor Wolfie was only trying to keep us together.
But I would never murder Wolfgang.
Do I agree
If you don't
this?
have an alibi, then you obviously did.
But I...
Okay. I forget.
I wanted to believe so bad.
Threes is absorb the bullet is E. Okay.
Why didn't I see you for
If this goes
on any longer, I'm gonna be sick.
Right, it's... Hold up, right. Well, do I take from not from Ulysses? Do I take from
Diana
Mark
was the one who
and then immediately?
I think the rest of us would never
learn the truth.
To keep us together.
If you don't have an alibi, then you obviously did.
Do I not? Oh, was I supposed to close it down? And I have to let's do it again. Nice.
If this goes on any longer, I'm gonna be sick. What are we waiting for then?
Nope. Is Diana telling the truth?
Diana was the one.
I've only got 3 hits left. I've just realized. Kill them immediately.
Crime scene.
I think the rest of us
Would never.
learn the truth.
Oh no! Do I go to? Do I just shoot Grace?
If you don't have an alibi, then you obviously did.
Hmm. I'm trying to think. I'll shoot Grace first. Risk that damage.
If this goes on any longer, I'm gonna be sick.
Because I have no idea how. I have no idea how. Ooh, I keep hitting space.
Diana was the one who.
There's no point.
Once he got the.
Yeah, there's no point.
No, that's
This is
wrong.
having a suspicious note told to him. Fair enough.
Hold on. Grace, you're overlooking a crucial detail.
What's the point of having a note? Yeah.
Do you recall the note I found in Wolfgang's blazer pocket? It asked him to meet in the boiler room at 8:15 a.m.
But according to yeah,
According to the Tozu tablet,
an hour and 20
he died
minutes
over
later.
An hour later at 9:35 a.m. That means Wolfgang didn't die right after he got to the boiler room.
True.
What's your point?
So something must have happened.
My point is that the killer had no reason to lure Wolfgang to the boiler room and then wait over an hour to kill him.
It's true.
There's no guarantee another person won't enter the room during that time. It's in the killer's best interest to be in and out of there as fast as possible.
True.
When we originally discussed the note, we lacked the context to properly understand this time discrepancy. But if we go with your idea that Diana killed Wolfgang immediately,
It doesn't make sense at all.
then that discrepancy becomes all too clear.
How do you know Wolfgang didn't just arrive late?
An hour late, Wolfgang.
He was already on his way when I ran into him at 8:10 a.m. He must have arrived on time.
Same goes for the killer. I doubt Wolfgang would stay in the boiler room for long if no one came to meet him.
True. Yeah.
For that reason, we can assume Wolfgang was knocked unconscious soon after he arrived. But there's such a long period of time between him being knocked out and him being killed.
So then the only thing it would serve would be to gain an alibi, which...
Unless you want to tell me he and Diana were in an hour-long struggle, then I'm sure there's more to the mystery here.
Shut the fuck up!
Damn. That is a good argue animation. And yeah, like, to be fair.
What the fuck is wrong with you? Don't you see this as a trick?
As the smartest person in the room, I will tell you, no.
All of Diana's blubbering and crying is just a farce to make us think she's innocent.
And what if she actually is?
I wouldn't fall for a farce like that. My only concern is the evidence not adding up.
If you're still not convinced Diana is the killer,
We're the ones who argued it was Diana.
then Then let me show you something you overlooked. I call it undeniable fucking proof!
Okay. Time to verbally and not hypothetically. What's the other word? Metaphorically. Slap this person. Okay. Tozu's quest, doorknob.
I don't give a damn what Diana says.
Okay.
Not only is she the one person without an alibi, the blood from her wounds places her inside the exact same room where Wolfgang died.
Not true.
How can the killer be anyone but her?
I think that she knows more about the crime scene than I do. But if that's true, she would have already realized the flaw in that argument.
I don't give a damn what Diana says. Not only is she the one person without an alibi, the blood from her wounds places her inside the exact same room where Wolfgang died. How can the killer be anyone but her?
Am I hitting something too early?
What Diana says. Not only is she the
notes.
one person without an alibi, the blood from her wounds places her inside the exact same room where Wolfgang died. How can the killer be anyone but her?
Sort of duel, okay. Okay, well, if this is getting me to one, it's fair enough. Hooray for advancing!
If Diana lured Wolfgang downstairs, why would she take over an hour to kill him? It doesn't make sense. Not when there's a risk of someone else entering the boiler room.
Is it the doorknob?
What risk? Diana wouldn't have to worry about anyone walking in.
Ah, the doorknob, yeah.
Because she could just lock the fucking door. Boom. Look at that. No intruders.
The boiler room door was moved to the other
Now
side.
take your argument and shove it up your ass.
Yeah, cool. So I need you to, yeah.
What risk? Diana wouldn't have to worry about anyone walking in because she could just lock the fucking door. Boom. Look
Is
at
that supposed to be a thing that I'm supposed to cut? Or am I just cutting too early?
Now take your argument and shove it up your ass.
Cool. One.
What risk? Diana wouldn't have
Two.
to worry about
Three.
anyone walking in because she could just lock the fucking door.
There we go. There we go. I keep hitting the wrong mouse keys.
The boiler room door can't be relied upon here.
Yep.
If Diana locked it, she would be trapping herself inside the boiler room.
What?
The doorknob has been flipped so that the keyhole faces inside, while the lock faces outside.
Yeah.
Had you investigated the crime scene more closely, you might have realized this detail sooner. In any case, locking the door would lock everyone inside the room, not outside. If Diana was the killer, she'd be better off leaving the door open.
I think I get it from what the way it's described. Because I know the door, the lock was flipped, but I'm not entirely sure of. Yeah.
How the heck do you even flip a doorknob? Sounds like something only a tradesperson could do.
Ingrid, you're a blacksmith. You know how to make locks, correct?
Meh. You really think so? Swapping a doorknob is easy. Well, last time I did anything like it was a while ago, but
Putting a bit of shit in yourself yet.
everyone here knows knobs are screwable, right? If you get a screwdriver and know what you're doing, you can rotate the doorknob quick smart.
If you can swap a doorknob, then I guess anyone can.
Wow. Are you sure he's your friend, Jet?
Right on. Wait, are you saying that like it's a bad thing, or?
Is that why Diana remained in the boiler room after Wolfgang died? She had been locked inside?
I mean, the only two of us found the body in the body discovery when I went off. I know we don't know the rules in this, but if it's like 3 or more people.
What do you make of the footsteps then? If they were Diana's, it would imply she escaped the boiler room. How do you suppose she did that?
True. Unless it wasn't her. Dan's way of escaping the boiler room, huh? From the evidence in the boiler room, I'm fairly confident I can deduce the method. Shrapnel. Oh yeah. She'll pick the lock.
This is it.
It's bobby pin, right?
Near the boiler room door, I discovered a thin piece of metal. At first glance, it didn't look important.
But yeah.
But if you were to fold it in half,
Bobby pin.
Theoretically, it would look like a hairpin.
Well, I don't know what the difference is.
Ah, she used the classic maneuver.
Picking the lock.
Picking a lock with a hairpin. It can be done. It just takes a bit of practice.
Sounds like you're speaking from experience.
Diana probably had this hairpin inside her makeup bag. So, she used it to fiddle with the lock until it eventually came undone.
Okay.
Which, judging by the timing of her footsteps, happened late into the blackout.
Messing with a lock in pitch blackness. Whew. Now that would be impossible for me.
But that would also, assuming the body discovery announcement is from the innocent people, that would be Diana's alibi.
Right. Even if Diana did access light, like through the Tozu trinket, undoing the lock would still be difficult. Way too difficult of a situation to deliberately put herself in.
So someone else would have put her into it. In which case, that can only mean one thing. Diana was put into the situation unwillingly. Someone else locked the door, someone else blocked the door. Yeah.
I got it. Someone else must have locked the door.
What?
If we go with our current train of thought, the doorknob was rearranged so you could only lock it from the outside.
Yep.
It doesn't make sense for Diana to rearrange the lock, enter the room, and deliberately trap herself inside, which means someone else must have locked the door.
But who would have had the chance? Because everyone else supposedly has an alibi.
I know this doesn't necessarily clear Diana's suspicion, but it's strange enough to warrant further investigation.
I'd rather resolve this thread before we move on to voting.
Thank you, John. See, this is why you're a better leader than Wolfgang. Doesn't it, bonus points because you're alive.
Agreed.
Thank you, Ulysses.
We could easily miss something important if we turn our noses away.
He says with the one person who couldn't smell smells.
So, why did this mystery person close the door in the first place?
Good question, Cassidy. Let's move on.
What if they saw the scuffle between Wolfie and Diana and closed the door to protect themselves?
That is true, because that would, if it did end up in a murder, you've seen the two people who is inside, and the one who is alive is clearly the killer. So that would at least be a valid thought.
Instead of seeking help or trying to stop the scuffle?
At the sacrifice of one person, it would clearly, remove one dangerous person from the situation.
You say that like closing the door isn't exactly what you would do.
Mark's got a point. Mark may have a snarky tone, but still preferable over Takai.
What kind of asshole do you take me for?
You pretty much are. That's pretty much been your description since the prologue.
Any chance they locked it to prevent Diana from escaping?
And somehow unscrewed the doorknob without drawing attention to themselves?
That's a good point. It would have to be premeditated.
Didn't you hear him? He's talking about the door being locked, not the doorknob being unscrewed.
Unless two entirely different people just so happen to interfere with the boiler room at two entirely separate intervals.
Yeah.
The one who locked the door is most likely the one who flipped it, yes?
Yeah. So it'd have to be intentional. When anyone's got a point.
Yes.
Then you should be wondering the same thing. How did they unscrew the doorknob without catching anyone's attention?
Would have had to be premeditated. It would have to be before even Wolfgang showed up.
Yeah, doesn't sound possible.
Not in the moment, it isn't. But what if the doorknob had been swapped beforehand?
Premeditated.
Say this person knew Wolfgang and Diana were coming to
That's
the
a good
boiler.
shot. Damn.
They could have swapped the knob in advance. Waited and then closed and locked the door.
Prematurely pressed enter. I was too enamored by... Yeah.
So the flipping of the doorknob was premeditated?
Damn, it's almost like they're listening to me now.
With what we currently know, I'd wager it's our safest assumption. At least until we hear Diana's side of the story.
Diana, Since you were the last person with Wolfgang, your testimony could be our most valuable piece of evidence yet.
Okay. Why did you meet with Wolfgang?
You need to tell me what happened. If not for me, or for you, then at the very least, do it for Wolfgang's sake.
I'm
Pregnant?
I'm sorry.
Same thing?
I'm really
Okay, didn't expect this image.
I wanted to help. I wanted to make everything okay. But all I could do was be useless.
Okay, what's this got to do with the trial?
All I could do was watch him die.
So you witnessed the murder, or not the murder, of the death. Well, it's still murder. That's still important information.
It's all my fault.
This also would explain why you had to do makeup if you were
All
crying.
my fault. For doing the wrong thing.
Murder?
So is this a confession?
I'm not gonna lie. The chances are it's not, but I'm with Jet, to be fair. Like, why play around with the words?
No!
Huh?
I didn't kill Wolfgang. And I don't know who did.
Mark and Desmond both don't seem impressed. Just bored with whatever's going on.
But I still failed him as a friend. I failed him then. And I failed him here. But if I told the truth, things would be worse than they already are. But now that I've said nothing...
Well, now that you've said nothing, it's suspicious that you're talking. Cool. Diana watched Wolfgang die.
It's okay, sweetheart. Come on now, take deep breaths.
Yeah, I'm not surprised at Kai's sprite currently. That's how he kind of always is.
Yeah.
Never mind.
We'll believe you no matter what you say.
Shut up, Kai. It's looking like Diana might actually be innocent. It's looking like that, but the nagging feeling in my chest still hasn't gone away. Damn it, what am I doing? Because of one girl, I'm doubting myself and jumping from one argument to another. If I can't piece together my own thoughts, how can I possibly piece together this case? I need to get a grip on myself. It's because you haven't, unlike a debate where you study and learn the facts, you're still learning the facts as we go. That's why you're switching between arguments. I need to keep sight on myself for the goal of this killer. Whatever is thrown to me next, I need to persevere. Because if I don't, if everyone else here votes wrong, I won't leave this place alive. Hello?
Has all this murder hubbub left your head in a
Not
tizzy?
really, no.
Perhaps you need a short break. Something to lighten
Ooh,
the mood
intermission.
and let you collect
Yay.
yourself. Something like a nice cup of
Honestly, if you're offering, go for it. You're the last person I expect to poison it, because again, students, it can only kill students. So happily, yeah.
Welcome, one and all, to the first episode of Tozu's Tea Time.
Honestly, I'm here for it.
If you haven't already, please sit back and relax. Here, we do not use our brains, but deal only in gossip.
Honestly, you've ruined it, because that seems to be what everyone does these days. It's just gossip, not using their brains.
Now, a question from me to you.
Okay, go for it.
What are sheep good at, if anything?
Buying, making wool, grazing, putting people to sleep. That's all I got.
Most humans, and some sheep, tend to respond with a resounding absolutely nothing.
Hooray! I'm not most humans or some sheep.
Sheep cannot create art or invent medicine. For goodness sake, they can't even perform music.
Well, that's if you don't arrange them properly. I think you could. It would all be bars, but, you know.
There Their limited speech and quadrupedal locomotion prevents them from reaching the heights of humans. They're practically glued to the lower echelons of the food chain.
Maybe. That doesn't mean they can't make stuff.
No matter how hard sheep may try, they will never be anything more than their number tags.
Well, if you're going to start counting, try and stay awake.
I can't say I like that answer. Too pessimistic for me.
Yeah, but there's a good thing about pessimism, is that either you're right or you're pleasantly surprised.
Plus, what of the sheep who still try?
Fair enough, gotta give them a shot.
The sheep who realize their fate but continue to challenge it all the same. That they can be so determined to prove their worth, when humans have all but deemed them microwavable meals.
I mean, you gotta put someone in the oven, don't you? Shave them first, obviously.
Isn't that something admirable?
Yeah, you know. People who know they can't do stuff, but they'll still try. Why not? Why not give them admiration?
What a shame our sheep had to be so misguided.
Well, some of them are trying.
It seems that's about all the time we have.
I couldn't even... My tea didn't even get cold. Didn't even get poured.
Thank you again for attending Tozu's tea
Honestly,
time.
if you invite me again, I'd be appreciative.
No need for extravagant farewells. I've an inkling you'll be back for tea sooner than you can say Jack Robinson.
I don't know about that. I feel like it's gonna take quite a while before I come back.
Who's Jack Robinson? I have no idea.
I don't know. I don't like him though. Sounds like a douchebag.
Ta-ta!
See ya.
Diana, now's your chance to defend yourself.
Would also save everyone else if you're innocent.
Tell me what happened.
Where do I even start?
The moment you woke up after Eva left.
How about you begin by explaining why you went to the boiler room?
Were you also lured by a note?
Why I went there? It was because of a note.
Okay, talking about your secret?
A note?
2 days ago, someone slid one into my room.
Okay. Is 2 years ago before the bed sharing? Because then wouldn't Eva know or not?
I never got to see who. I just heard a knock. And when I walked over, there was a note under my door.
I don't remember any of this.
Sorry. It was midday-ish, and you weren't there at the time. And I didn't show you the note later because...
So, it could have been Eva then, to be fair. Because again, it could have been any one of us who give this to you and Tozu.
Well, I'll just read you what it said.
Okay. This doesn't sound like you reading. Diana, as you are aware, it is our obligation to speak with those who blackmailed we have obtained. After receiving your blackmail and reading this information disclosed in it, I believe a meeting between the two of us is warranted. In 2 days' time, please come to the underground ballroom at 8:45, half an hour after Wolfgang. So, in that half an hour, Wolfgang was presumably knocked out, and then Diana was locked in. Make sure to arrive promptly and close the door behind you. To avoid disclosure, do not show this, let anyone this letter. Do not approach me about it, even in private. There is always the chance someone can hear. Wolfgang. Okay, so forged his signature.
Wolfie wrote this?
Not necessarily. I mean, wait, hold on. Don't. Our personal information, isn't our signatures also in that?
Wolfgang had Diana's blackmail? But didn't he have Jean's?
He apparently did.
Hold on a sec. If you take a closer look, the handwriting on that note, doesn't it resemble the handwriting on Wolfgang's
It does, because it's by the same person.
You're actually right. Even though Wolfgang's note has been water damaged, the words I can make out were in the same messy scroll as Diana's.
So someone has bad handwriting, that's all we're learning.
Then someone else was posing as Wolfgang?
Seems so.
The killer, most likely. They must have thought his word was the only one Diana would follow.
I suppose. But it also would explain why they would see his body there.
Guess it worked, huh?
Yep.
I didn't want to show this note earlier. Because I was scared of how people would try to twist it.
I mean, yeah, this group seems to be good at twisting words.
Like saying I faked the note, or that I decided to kill because of it. I thought it would be better to just stay quiet.
Well, I mean, maybe it might have been the best choice, because look how, we've cleared your name.
I know you guys think I'm stupid for agreeing to meet in a place like the boiler room. And I am. I am stupid.
Yeah, can't argue there.
I just didn't want to disappoint Wolfgang. In case he really did write
Well,
the
that's
note.
where you went wrong, because, you know, he's an idiot. Worse than you.
Which was why I left my room around 8:40 a.m. and went downstairs.
So, 10 minutes after we woke up.
Did you catch any strange movement down there?
No. It was
Until
just
Wolfgang
me.
woke up?
I did find the boiler room door hanging open a little bit. But I didn't think much of it. I just went inside and closed the door behind me. Since that's what the note asked me to do.
What did you see inside
An unconscious
the boiler room?
Wolfgang, I assume.
The boiler room was really dark. So the first thing I noticed was actually the security camera light.
Okay.
My eyes had to take a few seconds to adjust to everything else. But after that, I finally saw
Wolfgang?
him. Wolfgang was lying in the water, making these weird noises.
Probably after he just woke up.
It didn't seem like he'd even noticed me entering the room. Not until... Wolfgang?
I do find it interesting about the echo effect. I don't know if that's just the area or because this is a flashback.
Hearing his name seemed to snap him out of his trance, because he slowly rose to his feet. Wolfgang, are you
And
okay?
his eyes don't exactly look the best.
It's you.
Huh?
I can't believe it. I really am finally meeting you.
Meaning who?
What do you mean?
Please, forgive me. Please forgive me for what I've become.
Wolfgang?
Despite how hard I tried, and how much I wanted it to be true, I could never become you.
Is he hallucinating about his parents? Because his father looks exactly like him, and that's what his blackmail was. Was it like his blackmail's... His father's terrible, and his mother's the best. He wanted to be more like his mother than his father, correct?
I will always be a failure.
True, you died. You failed at living.
It's okay, Wolfgang.
He is concussed, though.
Look! There's stairs over here. Come over here and we can get out.
Hello?
I have no idea if he didn't hear me. Or if he was just ignoring me. But... Okay. I'll get closer to
That's
you then.
not something you want to do in this kind of situation. It's kind of common sense.
I went over to the ledge of the platform. The part where the fence had a gap. Just take my hand, okay? And I'll pull you out.
Okay. What happened next?
He slowly stumbled over. And he held my hand.
Before marriage? The scoundrel.
I didn't really think I could pull him out. I just wanted to be there for him. It was the best I could do. Because I didn't want to enter the water.
I mean, that's fair. I think everyone would be in the same situation, especially Kai. Especially Kai.
Staying on the platform felt so much safer. And I really, really hate that it did.
I mean, have you not seen the situation he found himself in? You find him like this and you go, of course you could be on edge.
It's okay, Wolfgang. We'll get through this together, all right? I was looking at him when I said that. I was looking right at him. But somehow...
Okay.
Somehow I didn't think to react.
Oh, well, that's just the best. It's the best.
When he reached inside his blazer.
Oh, okay, so it's hidden by the bracelet, okay.
Bring her back.
Pardon?
Bring her
Yeah, I think someone was trying to set up Wolfgang as the murderer.
I tried to leave the room, but the door was locked.
So, Wolfgang is a psychopath. And yeah, someone knew that. Because does it have anything to do with the blackmail? Because obviously the her could be referring to his mother, if it's about his parents. Does Diana look like her mother? His mother? Sorry.
I didn't know what to do. I started looking around for things to defend myself with.
Did you inject him?
And that's when I saw the gun.
The taser gun?
Did you miss? Because apparently... Oh.
Did you use it?
I mean, who wouldn't in this situation, to be fair?
I took the taser, and I aimed it at Wolfgang, and I...
So but he was stunned, wasn't he?
I couldn't do it. I couldn't shoot him. I just backed away from him. I couldn't understand anything.
I mean, he's crying about something. That could just be his eyes from waking up.
Why was I being attacked? Why can't I do anything to...
I'm not...
Correct. One of you is trying to murder the other one. Of course you're not.
I'll never be like you. I won't give up until the world knows. I won't give up until everyone knows me as...
Well, kaboom.
All of a sudden, everything turned white.
And this was during the gaming tournament, and we heard none of it?
Everything in front of me. Except
That is
Wolfgang.
a great image, though.
In those few seconds, he became pitch black. And then, so did everything else. Even though I didn't see Wolfgang fall over,
Okay.
I heard it.
And then you just panicked to get out of the room, right?
His body cracking against the pavement, and his knife falling into the water. I waited for the gasp of pain, for him to groan or mumble or say something. But there was nothing. There was just me and the silence.
The silence.
That's how it happened.
Okay. So someone planted the shrapnel, which is presumably an explosive, which means it could be anyone who had an alibi. So anyone except the 4 people who went outside. And I guess it also touched the... No, Toshiko could also have done it, I guess. Or Ingrid. Well, actually, no. It can't be Toshiko and Ingrid, because Wolfgang was alive. he hadn't made it down, it would be easier just to add the shrapnel to the generator after he was knocked out. So Toshiko and Ingrid should still have an alibi. So it would be someone who went to the game event. Assuming Kai genuinely did fall asleep like we did. Well, actually, no, he couldn't risk us waking up, I guess. So Kai's also innocent, I guess. So we've narrowed it down to 6. Okay. Cool.
What the fuck?
That man attacked you?
No longer Wolfgang, just that man.
Oh my goodness, Diana, I'm at a loss for words.
This is getting too much for me, bros.
Take a rest if you need to, Jet. I don't think there's much for you to add to this.
Holy shit. So Diana really did watch
after Wolfgang tried to attack her.
Why was he so violent?
I mean, he just woke up after being attacked.
It's like he became an entirely different person.
The word you're looking for is crazy.
Well, it's unfair to call him crazy. He was just attacked. Despite how hard I tried, of how much I wanted it to be true, I could never become you. Why would Wolfgang say those words in that particular moment?
How'd you manage to escape the boiler room after all that? By picking the door's lock.
I mean, that is what we discussed.
I wasn't even thinking. I just started feeling my way back to the door in the dark. And, well, my supply bag. I remembered the spare hairpins I always kept inside. So I felt around the bag and dug one out.
I don't see a hairpin on you unless we're supposed to. Like sprite differences between Prologue and...
To be honest, I have no idea how I managed to unlock the door. The whole thing was repeated trial and error.
I mean, you had time.
Just minutes of me telling myself that somehow this next attempt will finally work.
Fair enough.
Whoa! Actually unlocking the doors. That's like hitting a bullseye blindfold.
It's possible. It's just going to take a low probability.
Now we know why it took so long for her to escape.
I realized why it happened. Getting trapped inside.
You were to take the bait.
The door's lock was on the outside. So, someone must have set the lock before I came downstairs. So that when I closed the door,
pretty much
I'd be trapped.
The lock is normally on the inside too. The killer purposely flipped it, then left the door open so you would be the one to close it. As for why the killer locked the door to begin with...
It was to frame Diana,
seems to be.
Right?
Right. The killer made Diana trap herself inside the boiler room, so they could kill Wolfgang in front of her, and force her to remain by his body.
Yeah, but had Wolfgang successfully killed Diana, how would that solve the issue then? Especially if the time of death revealed
Diana would only
Diana
be able
died
to
first.
escape if someone from outside entered the boiler room. By which point, that someone would be stumbling across what looks like a cut-and-dry murder case.
If the tournament folk found Diana, they would have been playing right into the killer's hands.
I'm just gonna say, because if it is the tournament people, whose idea was it to lead them to the generator? Because, like, I can't tell if people actually know about the boiler room besides the people who woke up there. If not, that would just be me, Eva, and Grace. I know it wasn't Damon who suggested it, so it'd be Eva or Grace. We've already established that the killer leaving notes for people, especially, well, the killer leaving notes for Wolfgang, makes no sense if it was Grace. Which means it would be Eva if it was also Eva who, whatchamacallit, suggested to go for the boiler room. If, however, what was I going to say? Anyone knows about it, then it would also be, well, it could also be Mark, Jet, Cassidy, or John. Okay. Well, no, it couldn't be Kai, because Kai, again, woke up with us.
Speaking of which... Diana, I'm curious to know. Did you unlock the door before or after the tournament attendees arrived
I mean, by the
downstairs?
sounds of it, after.
It sort of happened at the same time. Like, when I opened the door, there were already people walking down the stairs. Obviously, I couldn't stay inside the boiler room. If anyone saw me close to Wolfgang's body, it would look really bad. The hallway was a bit easier to make out in the dark, so I walked over to a wall bordering one of the storage closets and hid behind it.
And then just waited for us to pass.
And stayed as quiet as possible. I was still bleeding a little from Wolfgang's cut, though. And some of that blood ended up hence the blood on the underground floor! It's all coming together!
This was shortly before us tournament goers split up. And you made a run for it, yeah?
Mm-hmm. Down the hallway, up the stairs, and then as quietly as possible into my room.
Fair enough, because you wouldn't have known about Ingrid and Toshiko.
Since everything was still really dark, I had to patch myself using the Tozu trinket's projection as my light. I realize this is a lot, and I know it's hard to believe without proof.
Yeah.
So, if you guys could just give me a
Are you
second.
going to show us the wound? Reaching into a makeup bag, Diana pulled out and wiped away. Begin scrubbing her arm. Okay.
I cleared up the blood pretty fast.
Fair enough.
Luckily for me, the cut
Yeah,
wasn't
as John
that
says,
deep.
if you get a nerve, that's gonna...
There's still a chance it may leave a scar, though.
Oh, that's unfortunate. I mean, on one side, it's a good job of your talent, but, I mean, you know, scarring from a situation like this...
Holy crap! That's awful!
Did the audio get quieter? Well, supposed to,
okay.
maybe.
I'll cover it back up again.
Why did Wolfgang attack you for no
I don't
reason?
know. Maybe, I think we should cover that for the next episode. Find out why he attacked. Hopefully you've enjoyed. Hopefully I can see you in the next one. With that, goodbye.